Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. We were slacking last week with recording, so we're trying to squish some episodes in so you guys can get them on time.
Yeah, y'all will never know the difference, but me and Savannah have to record a lot of episodes this week. So, yeah, and the reason for that is because I have some life updates, you guys. Very sadly, honestly, Dina moved out and away from me, which means that she had to take our assistants, Juju and Poe, with her.
So
which,
sad.
first of all, how could she? And she doesn't really listen, so let's just boo. Boo.
Boo.
I'll make sure to send her this clip so she can listen to that. No, but they will always, be our assistants, at least in their hearts. However, I do have a new roommate, and her name is Christian, and she brings along a furry friend. So his name is Uzi, and he is a dog. And we'll check our Instagram to see a pic of him because he's a new assistant.
Now we have three dog assistants.
Dogs. Yeah, it's crazy. Ugh, wow.
Yeah.
Wild. Literally wild. But yeah, so I was helping everybody move in and out and this and that last week. So too busy. But y'all will never know the difference, like I said.
Well, I mean, maybe you will now that we announced it.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Also, happy July.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, happy July.
Yay.
I did want to but I wanted to thank my friend Olivia.
Shoutout.
She's dating my boyfriend's brother, actually, and we were all hanging out like last week, and she was telling me how much she enjoyed our show.
Aww.
Yay. And I got her to help us with like marketing.
We love that.
I gave her some of our QR code stickers, so she's been scattering them all over Asheville, North Carolina, and
Fun.
they're actually going on a road trip across the country soon.
Ooh.
So they might pop up other places.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
That's so fun. So I know that there's a lot of stickers located around North Carolina. There's a few in West Virginia too. So if you ever are out and about and you see a Mysteries, Myths, and Legends sticker with a QR code, scan it. That's all I gotta say on that one.
Yeah. And like tag us on Instagram or something.
Yeah, also that. True.
Yeah.
There's so many.
That'd be cool.
Hidden in places. We love them.
You say that as if it's like a secret. You're like, ooh, I know exactly where they are.
But like also, well, I do. But also it kind of feels wrong like putting stickers in places sometimes. Like sometimes I don't know if I should be doing that, but I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Should I be admitting that online? No. It's just our followers putting up stickers. It's not me.
Yeah, like I didn't do any of it.
No, absolutely not.
I'm not admitting anything.
Absolutely not. We did nothing here. Also go rate and review us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Por favor. But I don't really have any other intro topics unless you do.
Yeah, I don't have anything. So I can get into my story.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this week I have the Voynich manuscript. Or Voynich Manuscript. I just looked up how to pronounce it and I already forget. I think it's Voynich. It is a manuscript or like a book that cannot be deciphered.
Okay. Huh.
It's like the most mysterious book ever.
Okay, immediately I'm just like, I can decipher it.
Right.
I know that
Maybe.
I can't. But maybe.
I mean, there's pictures of it online, so you can probably look it up and see if you can read it. Yeah. Okay, so it is written in an unknown language, which is why it can't be deciphered.
Yeah, I mean, I figured as much.
Yeah, it got its name because in 1912 it was bought by Wilfred Voynich, or Voynich. Why do I keep saying it wrong? But it was not written by him.
Oh, interesting.
It was like just bought by him, and made famous after he bought it. Which is like, why does it have his name then, you know?
That makes no sense. Not the one who wrote it. That makes no sense. Do they not know who wrote it?
Well, no, they don't.
Okay. Then that's the only reason that it makes sense, I
guess.
But
they could have named it after literally anything else, you know?
I mean, they should have just said unknown, personally. But I can see that. I understand why they did it, I guess. Yeah.
It carbon dates to the 15th century. So like around 1404 to 1438 is when like the carbon dating says that it was written.
Wow. That's old.
So this may have been during the Italian Renaissance. Mm-hmm. And it's about 240 pages, but it could be missing some pages. Okay, and this document has been studied by many people over the years, including like cryptographers, American and British code breakers, and none of them have been able to decipher it.
Yeah, I'm losing more and more faith in myself being able to decipher it as you go along.
I know, so all these professionals are not getting it. So
yeah,
I mean, but also like, what kind of job is it to be a professional code breaker and like cryptographer?
That's honestly be cool. Really cool. That's so cool.
It's like puzzles all day, you know?
Yeah, like you have to be really smart, honestly. I think I might be too dumb for that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Well, we're going to get into some of the coding and stuff, like codes and, you know, sequences, to sort of understand this a little bit more. So maybe we'll get a little smarter reading through this.
I hope so.
So there are about 20 to 25 characters used throughout most of the text, like letters, but
yeah, but
you know,
so about the same as English.
Well, but there's also about 12 characters that are used only once or twice.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So in total, there's probably like 30 some. And there's no punctuation, really. There are like, it's broken into like paragraphs and columns, but there's no periods or anything. In some of it, there are stars in the margins. And then there's also like a bunch of pictures throughout, that are labeled, which, I mean, the labeling, you don't know what it says.
It's just, know it's labeled, but you don't know what it says.
Yeah. Exactly. And the letters, they seem to flow really smoothly across, which shows the professionals that this is not really some sort of enciphered code. Because they say that if it was a code, then there would be more of like pauses between letters.
Okay.
But this shows that the author knew what to write and was not like looking at a key or something to go back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this symbol means A, this other symbol means B. No, he was just like, they were just writing it.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Like cursive, like you need to know like what you're writing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really pick your pen up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, like, what if somebody... Because, like, I maybe would do this as, like, a child. Like, make up a fake language.
Yeah.
But that kind of, you know, messes with that theory. I mean, unless somebody got really serious into it. But I doubt that.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe they wrote it on another page and then wrote it into the book later.
Oh, yeah.
But, I don't know. There are a few notes throughout the book that are like not in the same script, and they're in like Latin.
Oh, what?
Yeah. But it's unknown if this was in the original or added later.
Oh.
So there's just like notes throughout, but it might have been like added at a later date.
Yeah.
And there's some weird things about this language, other than the fact that, you know, nobody knows.
Yeah.
How to read it. Some of the letters are only used at the beginning or end of a word, not in the middle of a word. So, like how we put an S at the end of a word to make it plural.
Yeah.
but the S would not be used in the middle of a word ever.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, like, no other function, yeah, like, those letters would have no other function in that language. And, like, this is rare.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have never seen that before.
Yeah, it's not, I think it is in some languages, but not any of, like, the Western ones that we would know, you know?
Definitely.
Okay, and then the context of the manuscript as a whole. So, it's kind of questionable what this is about, but people have, like, guesses based on the pictures.
Oh, there's pictures too?
Yes, I thought I said that. Maybe
you did. I might have forgotten, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah. It's actually, the people who have studied it, they break it into sections by the pictures because, you know, there's no other way to really break it up.
Yeah.
So let's go through the sections real quick. The first one is, it's herbal. Each page has 1 or 2 plants and some paragraphs, but none of the plants are really identifiable.
What? All right.
Yeah.
I'm already immediately, you just know it's aliens. I'm just saying that.
See, yeah.
Because, okay, it's one thing if it's like a group of people, like maybe that live, like a small group of people somewhere, but like plants that we don't know, like, I don't know. That seems a little suspicious to me.
I know. And the rest of this is just going to seem weirder too. So the next section is astronomical, and it has like circular diagrams of astronomy and astrology.
Oh, wow.
It has the sun, moon, and stars, and a series of 12 diagrams of the zodiac symbols.
No way.
And each with a figure, a woman figure, holding a star attached to a tether cord, and the women are nude. Or partly nude.
Interesting.
And they're holding, a star, I guess. I don't know. The next section is balneological. This one has like continuous text with drawings throughout, like small drawings. And it includes small nude women again.
Oh, wow.
Some wearing crowns in bathing pools. And the bathing pools are connected by pipes.
Okay. This is really weird.
Yeah.
But they're like human women, right? Like they're not alien women?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So the next section is cosmological. And these are the names that, the professionals gave them. It has circular diagrams that are kind of obscure. And there's a 6-page fold-out that has a map or a diagram with 9 islands connected by causeways, and they have castles and what seems to be a volcano.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Literally, what is this? How do you even begin to decipher this? Like, yeah.
I don't know.
I have zero faith in myself at this point.
Well, once I tell you a theory, it kind of does make a little bit of sense, but we'll get there. The next one is pharmaceutical. So there's drawings of like plant roots, parts, and leaves, and apothecary jars. And then there is recipes, where there's full pages of text in short paragraphs with stars in the margins. I guess acting as like bullet points, maybe.
Yeah.
And the main theory for this is that it is a text for medieval or early modern medicine.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense. There's, like, bathing pools and, like, people, like, taking a bath is good for your health. I don't know. Like, the plants could be herbs to heal you.
Okay, but the stars?
The stars,
the zodiac signs?
be connected to the gods and goddesses.
They're
I
like,
don't know.
the Aries are going to be in this room.
I mean, I know back in medieval times, they were still pagan, right?
Yeah, no, they were. That's a good point.
I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me. A few of the plants have actually been identified. The wild pansy and a maidenhair fern.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are real and they're in the book.
Okay.
But most of the plants in there have not been identified. So they're like either made up or like alien. I don't know.
Right. Or they're like, okay, this is like, I feel like this is far off, but like, I feel like there are parts of the forest, like just in the world that we haven't explored. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could definitely
So like
be
maybe
it.
it's just like from a certain area where just we haven't explored and we haven't found this plant or these plants. It could be.
Yeah, something to think about. Or they're just like extinct or something.
Yeah, or
or
or they're just from a different planet because they're aliens.
Yeah, there's that too. Okay, so we have some theories on who could have wrote it.
Okay.
One a lot of people go with is Roger Bacon.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is, but I love his last name. I bet he has some relation to Kevin.
See, that's what I immediately thought of. But he lived from 1219 to 1292.
Well, that's a long life.
And he was a medieval English philosopher and a friar, which is like a religious person. And he had an emphasis on the study of nature through sensory experience.
Oh.
So like some of these pictures sort of make sense with that.
Okay. See, now at first I didn't know if I really believed you on like this medical book nonsense.
Yeah.
But that actually does, that is starting to make a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah. See, but the thing I don't understand about like this guy writing it, he lived until like he died in 1292, and then the book it was carbon dated to the 1400s.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know, one of those was wrong, you know.
Yeah.
There's a few other people though. Another one was Albertus Magnus, and he was a philosopher, scientist, and a bishop. I guess back then they all had like...
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, they're all in the
titles.
church and they're all in science.
Yeah, something like that. But he lived from 1200 to 1280.
Okay,
so
so
like,
all
that
of these...
doesn't match
Okay,
either.
so it sounds to me like their carbon dating was a little off. But just like, honestly, 200 years isn't that bad.
Yeah, honestly, like it's still sort of around the same time. I guess you can round.
Yeah, if you round.
This next person, it's more in the range though.
Oh.
So Giovanni Fontana, he was an Italian physician and engineer, and he lived from 1395 to 1455.
Okay, Giovanni.
So could have been him. And he also used ciphers in the past.
Oh.
And like has made cryptographic systems.
Okay.
So like he really could have just made up this language and wrote this book.
He really could have.
I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks that it was Giovanni.
Listen, right now it sounded very much so Giovanni.
Team
Giovanni.
Right. I don't know. It could have been any of them just because of like who they were, but it seems like this is more of like a cipher, like cryptic thing.
Definitely.
But just like a really good one.
But yeah, like actually the best one.
Because like nobody can crack it, seriously.
Literally.
I don't know. It's just so mysterious.
A part of me also just, and I don't want to spoil it, but like, could it just be nonsense with some pictures?
Well, we'll see. We'll get there maybe. So actually my next point was it fabricated?
I hate myself when I do that.
So there's a theory that the Voynich manuscript is fabricated, and it was fabricated by Voynich himself. Like, the guy who bought it in 1912, he fabricated it because he was an antique book dealer. He wanted money. But it was carbon dated to the 1400s, so that kind of eliminates.
Okay, so here's my question. Who carbon dated it? Like, can they be trusted? And when? And has it been carbon dated multiple times? That's what I want to know.
It was a university that did it.
Okay. So that's trustworthy.
I really should have wrote it down. It was a very famous university.
But, like, was it, like, recently that they did the carbon dating?
It was in, like, it might have been in, like, 2009.
Okay. Well, then that's really hard to explain. This is weird.
It was Yale University.
Oh, okay. So Yale. Yeah, I guess we can probably trust Yale.
Yeah. I'm looking it up right now. Carbon dated.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to see what year it was.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not coming out fast enough.
It's fine. We don't need to know the year. Because
I really thought I saw during the 2000s, though.
Yeah. I mean, even saying that it's Yale makes me trust it more. Because I was just like, did this guy pay somebody to, like, carbon date it, you know, to, like, try to prove that it was from before?
Yeah. No, but that's who he sold it to, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Because nobody else wanted it, I guess. He just, like, or his wife sold it to them. Or,
There's so many questionable things about this little manuscript.
Seriously. I have some more theories. Just a little bit more.
I'm excited.
If you're ready for it.
I don't know if I am, but I am.
Okay. So, some other theories as to what this book could be is, you know, number one is that it's a cipher. It's like, you know, just a code, and once you decode it, it'll be in, like, a language that's known to everybody.
Yeah.
The next theory that people go to is that it is shorthand for Latin.
Okay.
So it's like abbreviated Latin words, and, you know, people don't really know Latin as much as they used to, so it's probably harder to figure out. So that could be it.
That could be it, but that at the same time, I don't know if I believe that, because I know people who know Latin, and I feel like at this point we have had many years. We could have figured that out by now.
That's true. These next few, though. Okay, so this one, theory of stenography. Do you know what that is, stenography?
I definitely do.
Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you anyway.
Yeah, I knew you were going to tell me.
Mostly meaningless words, right? It's like a passage just mostly meaningless, like...
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But then in it, there's, like, hidden messages.
Yeah. If you've ever seen National Treasure, I do believe it's the second one. They find, like, a little, like, thing in, like, the little letters that they wrote, and it was a stenography, basically, like, using, like, the, like, first letter of every paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know. You're always using, like, National Treasure and stuff.
I'm sorry. It's just, like, it's relatable.
Yeah. No, I love it. Okay. So, there's some other theories, that it's a hoax, of course, that I already said that. People just go to that because nobody can decipher it.
Yeah.
Which I think is just the easy way out. Like, I don't think it's a hoax.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then that's it for the theories, but some people have claimed to have deciphered it.
Oh.
None of these have really been confirmed by, like, you know, a body of people. Like, you know, Yale University hasn't come by and said, yeah, this has been deciphered.
Yeah, of course.
But some people claim to have deciphered it. And they say that it is an unknown Semitic language, like Hebrew or Arabic, and that it's a medical textbook.
Okay.
So that goes back to what I was saying before, where it's like modern, like medicine and stuff. So, I don't know. Looking at the pages, it kind of does look like medieval medicine.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't show you any, but...
Why? No, I know. But I believe you that it looks like it. But just why? Like, so are we saying that this was like somebody's language? Or are we saying that they like, what do you think happened?
I don't know about the words part of it. Because it's like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, that's so strange. Like, either
I skipped one. I skipped a theory.
Oh.
I was just going to say, I believe this theory. That it could be a natural language. So it's like not a formal language that's ever really been written down, but people have spoke it to each other and it just evolves naturally over time.
What?
You know, and it's not really agreed upon, but it just happens. And then somebody wrote down like how it sounds.
Oh, okay. First of all, I've never heard of any of that. But
yeah, natural language is like a thing, I guess. And
that's
it
crazy.
Seems kind of cool.
No, that's really cool. I mean, I guess that could be true. I mean, since we don't really know where this came from.
Yeah, and also like spelling back then had to be awful. Like nobody has anyone to check.
That's very true. I'm so excited to see what this looks like what the symbols look like and stuff. I swear I'm over here like I'm gonna decipher it tonight.
I mean, maybe you could.
I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We'll update you next week once we solve this puzzle.
I know. We might.
Yeah, definitely check Instagram to see the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Let me try to send you some real quick.
True.
What do you think it could be?
I feel like I need to see it first to really say, but I really... Okay, a part of me wants to say it's the aliens, but just because I love the aliens theory, which is just personally my own theory. But I don't know why. A part of me just thinks it's like fake.
I just sent you some.
I'm looking at this.
Let's get your reaction.
Okay, I'm actually in shock right now. This is not at all what I imagined it to look like. Okay. What is that? I have so many questions. So everybody definitely needs to go.
Okay, so the first one I sent is a plant.
Okay.
I believe. And then there's the one of women in a bath.
Yeah, the bath is not what I imagined it to be. It's green. It's like about 7 women naked in a green pool is what it looks like. That is disgusting. Why is it green? That's my question.
Okay, I mean, it's old too. It could have faded or like he just didn't have blue.
That's true. That's very true. The third page, I don't know what that is, but it definitely looks like medical something.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, seeing these pictures make me feel way different. Like I maybe should have been seeing these from the start.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Well, the words, wow. It's definitely a language. That's for sure. Like, it looks like words.
I keep sending you more because these are so weird.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to Google this right now.
No, this is the strangest. I'm genuinely so shocked right now. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. It also kind of just looks like somebody was really bored and, like, doodling. Whoa, but the letters are so cool.
Right. Like, they look like somebody was writing a language, not just, like...
They definitely do.
Letters.
And you know what else is interesting? Is that I'm seeing in some of this text the same word. Or the same... I mean, it looks like a word, but I see it in this one picture. That's... Wow. Wow. Savannah, you honestly have me shocked with this story. I just want to figure it out.
I know. I can't believe I found something like this. Because I don't know. I don't know what to think.
You have honestly blew my mind. I think I'm speechless over here. That's so crazy.
I mean, they call it the most mysterious, like, book or manuscript.
Well, they're definitely correct about that part of it. And now I feel like looking at it, now I just have way more questions. Like, so many questions. It does just look like an old language, though. So, like... I guess I'm just going to go with that. It's somebody Or like maybe it's one that was never written down. Something like that. That's what I'm going with.
See, it's just weird that nobody can decipher what it says.
That's really... That freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah. Like, after all this time, nobody? Seriously?
Right. Like, because I really feel like even me looking at it could figure out something, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, dude. I don't know. Y'all really... If y'all have never gone to our Instagram before, or at least Google, somebody, you got to look at these pictures. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Savannah, honestly, that's probably one of my favorite stories I've heard in a long time. On this podcast. Yeah. Just gotta shout you out for that one. Well, we're gonna very much so rapidly change gears. I feel like almost a little bit in shock after that story. But we're rapidly changing gears for my story this week. I feel like I've been doing like a bunch of like history / conspiracy theory stuff for like the past couple weeks. So I'm bringing it back to where I really belong. The haunted things.
Yes, we love the haunted things.
Yes, we're gonna get some spooked magooked in here right now. So this week I am covering the haunting of Lindsey-Wilson College. Dun dun dun. Okay. So this is a college that's haunted. So that's fun. I do just want to say before I even start the story that I also feel like UNCW, where me and Savannah went, was a little haunted. We had some weird things happen to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's haunted.
Yeah, at least like where we stayed like our freshman year, like at the dorm, that I had some really weird things happen. And I know some stories of things out of people who have died there. So I don't know. Colleges are weirdly creepy like that. So anyways, I had never even heard of Lindsey-Wilson College before, but I'm going to have to shout out my new roommate, Christian. She actually gave me this story this week. She actually literally has a book of Kentucky ghost stories. So this is where this is coming from. So.
Oh, I love that. You just keep going to the books.
I know. I know. Taking it old school. I love it. So... yeah, when she was moving in over the weekend, I was like trying to find a story, and she was like, "Girl, I have the perfect thing for you," and she surely did. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So I'll go ahead and start with the book. It's called "Ghost Across Kentucky" by William Lynwood Montell. Just if you're curious, it's a very big book with a lot of ghost stories. It's the biggest book I've ever seen with ghost stories. So anyway, the story. So we're going to be traveling back in time to 1975 at Lindsey-Wilson College. So in this story, from the book at least, this person remains anonymous for the sake of like their safety or whatever. So I'm going to just give her a name, Michelle. So Michelle Gurley. Okay. So she attended this college for 1 year in 1975, and so the entire college literally had only one singular girls' dorm.
What?
Yeah, which is really crazy to think about. But
how big was it?
Well, it was 2 stories.
What?
Yeah, but apparently it was like a big 2-story building.
Okay.
So I mean that doesn't make it any better. But so obviously that's where Michelle was moving into. Yeah, so she said it's like a pretty big, like 2-story building, and it's built in the shape of a square, apparently. However, Savannah, only the first floor was operational because the second floor remained unfinished for years.
What? And they just let people live there?
Yeah. Yeah, not on the second floor, though, only on the first floor. So you're telling me, like, only a few amount of people, like, a few women, like, I'm going to guess probably 50 or less, were attending this college in 1975. I know.
You're making it... Okay, it's named after a woman.
I think that it's not.
Oh, is Lindsay a boy name?
I think it's somebody's last name.
Oh.
Like Lindsey-Wilson.
Lindsay, when you say Lindsay, I was like, this is a all-girls
This is a girls' school,
right?
Yeah, no.
It's not. Okay.
It's most definitely not. So, yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy to think, like, wow, we really came so far. Go women. We support women.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But, so, anyways, Basically, only the first floor was operational because the second floor, it literally didn't, it only had walls somewhat, but they were still unfinished. Like, nothing was done. So nobody could live in there. Okay. However, like, there were barely even floors up there. Okay. Like, I'm telling you, it's very much so unfinished. So Michelle had actually no idea about that when she was moving in. She just assumed both floors were open, had people moving in, I mean, I would assume that if I didn't know any better, cause I'm sure a lot of people are moving in. Like, I think back to like move-in day. Like, I would not have been paying attention to anybody else, to
that,
think like
one
oh,
floor was closed off.
Yeah, no, that would never have crossed my mind. So Michelle, she's chilling, moving in, and she's trying to unpack and get her room all ready and cute. When she hears like this super loud noise coming directly above her room, and it just sounded like somebody dragging like a desk or their bed like across the floor. So she was like, obviously somebody's just like damaging the floors, but like, rearranging their room for the year. But don't forget, the second floor is not operational. She just doesn't know that.
Yeah, there's actually no one up there.
Yeah. So she just goes about her day, finishes unpacking, whatever. And she's just chilling in her room when her roommate shows up. And so her roommate actually was in her second year at this school. And so she had lived in the same dorm the year before. Because, as we already mentioned, it's the only female dorm. So all the ladies got to stay in this one place like the whole time they go there, if they live on campus. So yeah, Michelle is just telling her roomie, how her day was, cute little roomie college talks. And Michelle just briefly mentions like hearing people like moving above them, and like she was like, oh, we should try to go like, make friends, how you do.
Right.
And the roommate like turned around and gave her like this horrified look, and she was like, what are you talking about? And Michelle was like, what do you mean, babe? And then the roommate proceeded to tell her that nobody lives up there and that strange things happen up there.
Oh no.
And so Michelle was like,
things
not
happening.
Stranger Things.
Oh my God. You're right.
So then her roommate proceeded to tell her the story of how just before the renovations started, that were going on the second floor, it used to be fully operational. It used to work. But apparently a few years before Michelle had started school there, a student who lived on the second floor had actually gotten pregnant and ended up tragically committing suicide in her dorm room when she found out.
Oh no.
And people do believe that this was possibly due to the fact that this university is Methodist based. So I feel like religion and, guilt, like, of, getting pregnant before marriage, like, what happened. So, it's just a really big tragedy. So, but apparently that happened. And ever since that girl's death, they've had to remodel the second floor. Because I don't know how long she was, there before they found her. Tragically.
Yeah.
So
oh my God, that's horrifying.
Yeah, it's a little horrifying. And that's kind of honestly really horrifying that they're not like letting them know that fact.
Right.
Like before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand as a university why they're not doing that, but it's messed up. It's messed up. So the roommate said that ever since that girl's death, this dorm has apparently been haunted and unexplainable things go on. So, the next story that Michelle's roommate told her was a little bit more of a personal one. So she said that one night she actually heard someone moving something around upstairs right above her room, just like Michelle had heard earlier in the day. And she was actually very concerned because she knew that nobody should be up there. So she went and got the dorm mother, which is basically like the RA, I'm assuming, but this is like an older person. So she got the dorm mother and explained, what was happening. And so what is important to know is that since the second floor has been unfinished, it's very unsafe to be up there. As I said, there's hardly floors to walk on. So the school kept it locked completely, and only the dorm mother and the janitor had the key. And so when they first, so I guess when she first came and told the dorm mother, she didn't believe her, that she was hearing noises up there. She was like, nobody can get up there. Like, you're maybe having a nightmare. I don't know. And so they first went to her room to see if she could hear anything moving. Because she was like, I'm not going up there, like, in the middle of the night. Like, I mean, I feel her on that, honestly. So when they went to the roommate's room, they did actually hear something moving upstairs still. So the dorm mother was like, okay, let's go get it. Let's go see. Oh my God,
that's so creepy. Imagine being that lady.
Right, but like at the same time, I don't think that they were scared at first. I think that they thought some like students were like sneaking up there.
I mean, true, but
I would be scared because I would be like, I wouldn't immediately think it's a ghost. I would be like, it's a murderer.
Right? No,
that's what I would think.
Too. And the fact that like, since it's under construction, do the lights turn on?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, you're so right. Like, I would be so scared. You would never catch me being a dorm mother.
Right.
Especially after this. So, yeah, so they decided they needed to go check. So, they go to the stairwell and they walk up to the second floor, and the dorm mother unlocks the door. And they both said that as they got closer, the noises were just getting louder and louder. So they're like walking through the second floor as carefully as they can, like on the floor that's there, to try to like find what's happening, because as they're walking, like there's just some noise happening, okay? And it's getting louder, so they know that they're getting closer to it. So they're just, and that would just absolutely not be me. I would call the police immediately.
Right, I would turn around.
Yeah,
what
are
they doing?
No, like what did they? I don't know. I really think that they thought like, oh, it's like a couple coming up here to thinking that they can get away with something, you know?
Yeah.
Like they really must have thought that.
I mean, it very well could be.
It very well could be. It very well could be, but is it? So, let's see here. Okay, so they come up to this. You know, there are still doors on some of the parts of this second floor. And so they come up to this door, and as they're getting closer, they realize like this sound is coming from behind this door, right? And so they try to open the door. It won't open. And that's weird because they could tell like it was definitely unlocked, right? So they describe it as feeling as if somebody was holding the door closed from the other side.
Oh no.
And so, I mean, they're still like, okay, it's these people and they don't want to get caught. And so the dorm mother and the roommate literally get down on their knees to look under the door. Ooh,
that's so chills. Scary.
Okay, I would never do that. Okay, I would never do anything that they're doing, but I would absolutely never do that. So when they looked under the door, all that they could see was green mist, which is like really weird.
Okay, what?
Okay, and so now apparently there are tons of rumors throughout this campus, like over the years, that like hundreds upon hundreds of people have actually seen this green mist throughout campus. Okay. So like that's weird. I'm like, babe, is it a gas leak? I don't know. Like I don't know.
What are you guys imagining over here?
Right. So anyway, back to the dorm mother and the girl. She said that they could, like, it was so misty, but you could barely see the mist, but you could also see that nobody was in there. Right?
Okay.
So,
yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
Hate that. Because who's holding the door closed? Right. So, yeah, they eventually, like, and the mist is, like, fading out and they can't see any feet. And so they're like, what's going on? And they still can't open the door. Like, they're still trying to open the door. And it's not.
Who's holding the door and also who has the fog machine?
Right, and who has the food coloring, putting it into the fog machine? Like what's going on? So finally, okay, we have to remember this is 1975. Okay, just remember that in the back of your head. So finally, the dorm mother called out that if somebody did not open the door in the next 5 seconds, she was going to shoot. She pulls out her Glock. She says, "Pop, pop." She's ready.
Seriously?
Like actually, genuinely, yeah. So I guess now remembering this, like that's why she wasn't scared. She was like, I'll take them.
Yeah.
So,
honestly.
So the dorm mom, she counts down from 5 out loud. Nobody answers. And so she shot at the door and then was able to get it open after she shot the, door handle. And so when they entered the room, no one was in there. And it looked like no evidence of anybody had ever being in there. And somehow when they went in, all of the green mist was gone.
Oh, no.
Right. Oh, so I don't know why I don't know why it freaks me out so bad. Like, that is so creepy to me.
Right, like, where did it go?
Like, where did it go? Cotton Eye Joe.
Exactly.
But and the even weirder part is, so that's literally this girl's roommate, like, telling her that happened to her, but that apparently there are countless reports of so many women attending this college having this exact same experience. So, like, this is just happening all the time. Like,
that's scary.
like, what is that? Like, what is that? Like, because I was like, maybe it's a prank, you know? Like, maybe it's a prank. A really bad, not funny prank.
I mean, but if they're gonna have a fog machine that has green fog, but, like, how do you get it to go away so fast?
Right.
They didn't.
Right.
That's
And how are you holding the door? Like, how are you holding the door?
Right.
I don't know. So, because of all the, like, encounter stories, like, even today that are going on, like, most of the students at this point have heard of, like, the weird things going on. Some others, like, report, like, to claim to have seen, like, dark, shadowy figures shake ceiling tiles in their dorm rooms. And I'm like, excuse me, what? Like,
yeah, what?
Like, excuse me? And so also legend says that if you come across any of these, like, weird beings such as the green mist or any ghost or whatever you see, like, if you come across anything that seems to be of the paranormal, you need to be completely still, because if they detect any form of life, they will scream at the top of their lungs so loud that it could kill you. And so that's the legend. So that is not true. Okay, that's just what people say to, like, it's like the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the fake part of the legend. At least I really am saying that, hoping so.
Okay, because, like, if you're gonna have to stay still, how long?
Like, forever, right? Like, forever. Or, like, I think that they would mean until, like, it goes away. But, like,
but how long is it gonna take to go away?
Yeah, maybe forever. You know. Who's to say? It's not me. So I lost my spot. Okay. Yeah. So I definitely don't, that part of the legend, not true. But, like, I don't know. There's something weird going on in that dorm. And so, I don't know. I was just going to ask, what do you think it would be like to live in that dorm? Would you want to live there? Even on the first floor?
Okay. I mean, low-key, it could be fun. Just because we would probably go up there and try to find the ghosts.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah. We definitely would. I was going to ask you if you recalled when we made the Ouija board out of a pizza box and a shot glass in our freshman dorm.
Yes, I do. Very similar vibes.
Very similar vibes. It cracks me up. Yeah, but that is the haunting of Lindsey-Wilson College. Dun dun dun. It freaks me out, dude. And, like, I feel like crazy. It's not even, like, that scary because it's, like, a green mist. But, like, what's going on? And I also just, like, I don't think it's the ghost of that girl who committed suicide. Like, what is she doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if it is, what is she doing? She's having fun being some green mist? Like, I don't know. Like, is it a prank? I really just don't know.
Some green mist.
Like, I'm just a little confused. Like, I've just never heard a ghost story. Because it's like, is it even a ghost? I don't know.
Right. Like, there's no answers there. It doesn't even say who it is or anything.
Like, it's actually just the Hulk. Ghost form.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've also personally never seen green mist. So even if it wasn't, like, a scary enough situation as it is, if I saw green mist anywhere, I'd be a little bit concerned.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And also, I'm like,
that's not natural.
But is it a gas leak? Like,
true.
Are they all crazy? Like, that's actually maybe the answer. Like, maybe that's why they're renovating it, is because there's a gas leak and they're, like, hallucinating it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's why they're not allowed up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we might have just cracked that one. Cracked the case. Wow.
Less exciting than we thought it would be, but, you know.
Yeah. LOL. But, yes, definitely go check out Instagram, for this week's pictures. You definitely have to see a picture of the manuscript. Like, there's just no, like, you have to. Like, I promise you it's worth it.
I don't know how I'm going to pick which ones to do because
I think we're just going to have to, you're going to have to do them all. Post the whole 240-page manuscript, baby.
Oh my God, yeah.
We'll be like 10 Instagram posts. Well, way more than that because I don't know how many they allow, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never reached a limit on there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's definitely a limit.
Yeah, there is, probably.
No, there definitely is. But yeah, also go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm thinking of if I can remember anything else. I'm honestly, the whole time I was even telling my story, I'm just still thinking about that manuscript and how I want to solve it.
I know.
Like, it bothers me so much. And you know what's crazy is that I also told myself that I was going to solve the Zodiac killers. Because you know how, like, the Zodiac killer, like, they didn't find him until recently.
Yeah.
But he actually had a cipher that nobody could decipher. And I was like, I'm going to solve it. And you know what? I actually genuinely I did the whole shebang. Like, printed everything out, like, of all of the evidence and, like, had, like, papers, like, trying to find out like what letter, like, as if I was gonna be able to figure it out, like, as if the FBI hasn't, like, tried.
See, you can do it with this then too.
Okay, well, I didn't figure it out tragically before, but you know, I will try. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all I think I have for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, well, I guess we will see you guys next week.
All right, cue the music.